Well, we're going to do a full kitchen, just about a full kitchen gut. I got to do different cabinets. So what we got is the food pantries across this wall. I want to put the fridge back here because that'll get it out of the way. And so we took this big cabinet out, well, in pieces. But there's a lot of parts to that thing. Sorry about the mess here, but Dawson's bringing in some barrels. We're just going to town, not taking any time on it. We're just going to rip this drywall, the soffit, all the lumber. They got them on with 16 penny nails. And they got 5 stud width up through here. And that looks like a finished oak end. And then the bottom shelf, it had standards. But they never finished that wall off. I don't know why, because you could see through the cabinet. And that's good grade plywood. So we're going to rip all this out of here. What did I get into, you know? Right, Dawson? What did we get into? But I think I'm going to love the fridge over on this wall. Well, we're pulling out all these cabinets. I'm going to put in new ones. We're going to fix everything that we find, all these issues. And then I'm able to use the Lazy Susan. This was a dead space down in here in the blind corner. And I'm not happy with it. So I'm going to put a Lazy in here. And that'll be use. We need the storage. Good morning, guys. Look how nice it is out here. We got our tractor together. Check this out. Come over here. I greased up the loader while I was in there. There's our seal. It's not leaking. I don't know if you can see down in there. It's doing good. So I got this cleaned up. We're starting to get a lot of snow here. It was 16 below this morning. It's up to 0 right now. It's cold, but that sun feels good, doesn't it, Dawson?
Yeah.
We went on down to Lowe's to pick up a couple supplies we needed. And I was going to get the drywall to do our ceiling. Drywall's kind of boring. And I don't remember if we videoed it, but we remodeled Dawson's bathroom a few years ago. You remember how many years? A couple years ago. And we did Knotty Pine he wanted. So because the house, look at the house. You see how we got 45. We got 412 pitch on the siding. What we got is cedar siding on that, but this is 1x6 tongue and groove. Dawson thought we should put that up on our ceiling and whitewash it in the kitchen and give it a cool look. Modernized, rustic, I don't know what you call it. So the price at Lowe's was ridiculous and the quality wasn't very good. Check out what we got. We found a guy at Marketplace selling what he buys from an auction, and it's not 100% great, but it's pretty good stuff. And I ended up paying 89 cents a lineal foot.
82.
Oh, 82 he said. But then we counted up what we got and it figured out to be like 78. We did lineal foot and did an inventory. It's like 78 cents. So he bought it at an auction and his numbers aren't jiving. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's got a couple knots, knot holes in them, a couple of them, and a couple cracks. We knew that. He told us there's some. And so I think I can use them. And we're going to have some extra. So we're going to put them in on the job. They're nice and clean. There's some marks on them where they did the chalk. But other than that, I don't think I have to clean them much. We're going to install them on the ceiling. And I think what we're going to do is stagger our joints. So this is 12s, 14s, and 8s. I think if we came down and staggered, you know, a minimum of 2 feet, and I cut some, and just to keep it looking like a floor, I think that would look good. And I know if I took like a 12 or 14 I put up on the ceiling, you need 2 people because you can't hold it and, you know, get it in there without cracking, whatever. And I know I can make a jig. I've done it before. You make like an L block, you screw it to the floor joist, and then you slip your board up on it. It's pretty close to the ceiling. But Dawson, he'll be back at school. Right now he's on holiday. But we're going to get this put in the house. It's nice and dry. It was stored indoors. And we got 2 days of nice weather as far as sun. So we're going to get it inside, even though I'm cold. Alright guys, we got our flooring. I decided on doing the Bruce hardwood flooring. Check this color out. This is the fawn. That's real pretty stuff. And I think I couldn't do the laminate. I just couldn't do it. So stay tuned and we'll get this installed. Well, because we're moving the fridge, I'm going to do away with that dedicated outlet unless we decide to put the wine fridge here. I'm thinking on that. We got a USB GFCI protected outlet. We had to move it over because we're going to move the stove down. So I had to put a panel in there. And This is about set on this wall. Then we come over here. Look what we got going on here. This is behind the television. Single outlet. It is grounded, I guess. But we got electrical tape and a cable wire in the same box. And I don't know if they're wire nuts taped or just, we'll find out. It's a mess. We got to do away with this outlet, clean this wall up, take the brackets all off. We got our dimmer on this wall. That outlet's refreshed. And there's our light wire going up over, so all this can get cleaned up now. Well, there was actually 2 coax wires inside that same box. Don't understand that. There's a vent pipe behind it. There's wire nuts, but see, the wires that lead to it aren't even long enough. There's no sheathing in the box. It's up somewhere up in that wall. I don't feel bad about tearing this stuff apart. I know it's making a lot of holes in the walls, but we can pull that wire, get that, go back to the junction, get rid of it, and I'm going to feel a lot better. I'm just going to check all the wiring in this room, and the reason is this appears to be the only room that was remodeled, and I see dates on things of 1984, 1982, and then some of this lumber stamp, so I'm not sure the year they did it, but the boxes that are fiberglass appear to be okay. The boxes that are blue plastic, remodel boxes, obviously is the new work. The new work is terrible, so that's what everything I'm checking. Well, that circuit went over. Remember, that was a TV outlet, came in the bathroom, and it's hooked up to the wall switch, so that's a no-no. So that's all pulled out, right up out of the wall and gone. Then on the hallway switch here, I put a single light. I moved the junction box up, and this is going to have a 4-inch opening, so you can access that as a junction box, and then we'll put our panel in. And I'm going to leave this on the brightest setting. I'm not sure on the other one. So that cleans up all the electric. The TV can come off now. We got the tiger. What you doing? He's pretty mellow cat, isn't he? Yeah. Little pink panther. And then what else we got? I got that wall finished. That wall finished. This wall finished. If we do the wine cooler setup thing down here, I'll leave that outlet. Otherwise, that'll come out, and we put it over there. Tiger thinks he's going out. We got a real mess in there. I got to bring in an outlet up there for the television, and an outlet right down in here for the refrigerator, and a water for the ice maker. Well, guys, we decided it's not worth me shopping around too far, so we went to our local Lowe's. We got the RTA cabinets in the gray, and I like them because they're solid wood. I just can't get particle board, and I just can't get laminates. I just got to have the real thing, so we have to put them together is all. And this is 10 of them, and we got 13. We picked a few up the other day, so good day for this. Well, another mess. I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of these cabinets off. There was a 4-foot. Well, first there was a wall, like that little one, and then a 4-foot, a 4-foot, and a 2-foot. And the difference on the end is it's a stand-up cabinet. And what I was originally going to do is come through the garage, take that shelf out, and make that a coat closet, move the shelf up a little higher, and that could be a coat closet, boots on the bottom kind of thing. What I don't like is they didn't finish the back of the cabinets. All they had to do is put a sheet of Luan on the back, and it would be finished, you know. What they did is just throw standards on, screwed into the next cabinet so the sides are tight. You can't remove each can't remove each cabinet separately. And for the ceiling, they used drywall. And it's just ugly. I wouldn't have done that. And because we're doing the new kitchen, I thought, I could paint it. I don't know. So it's coming out. I might as well throw a couple more cabinets, maybe a countertop, fridge, and another cabinet. The dust is choking me up here. It doesn't look real dusty, but something got me. Excuse me. So I'm going to finish taking this out. And then I still want to run probably 2 outlets, under cabinet lighting, an outlet, fridge outlet, and the water. Look at all these parts. So I took the face frame off and they built the cabinet in place. I would have made boxes and attached them. They had the standards against the drywall and the ends, and then cleats, and then they have this finished plywood or paneling that's oak on one side. This is oak, and then it's Luan, whatever, on the other side. And then I got to take the soffit apart, because if I do upper cabinets, I'm only going to want a 12-inch soffit. So I think I'm going to take the whole soffit down, the ceiling down. We'll probably do the ceiling all the way across, build my soffit, my new soffit, and then not sure if I want to extend it out to the fridge. I might bring it out because I want to go about 28 inches to recess the fridge. And I'm glad I didn't start patching walls yet, because I want to go ahead and get power here, power there for 2 outlets, put 2 cabinets, probably a 30 and a 30. They look uniform. So we'll have a 5-foot counter. There'll be more of a space to the door, so it won't be tight there. And then a 36 fridge, and then a 24 cabinet on that end. And I didn't order them yet, but I could go to a 30 and end up with a 30, 30, 30, and then a fridge. So I'll check my drawings. I'll do it on graph paper, whatever, see what looks good. The price of the cabinets isn't much difference, but I think this is going to work. The kick, they built that all in place. Everything's nailed and screwed. You know, huge nails in some of this stuff. A lot of them are, those are finish nails. Huge finish nails for that Luan stuff. 20 pennies, 16 pennies in a lot of these. Big stuff. You can see them hanging out right there. And so, doing good. I'm going to finish gutting this all out, get this all cleaned up. I'm going to bring the balance of the flooring up 3/8 of an inch. I think they got 3/8. It could be half. I'll measure it, but I think it's 3/8 on top of the 3/4, so that it's flush before I peel these tile. And then, you know, our finished floor will go over that. Got to tear this wall out yet, see what's behind there. I don't see any electric. There is an ADT alarm system in it that I can move. I think it's annoying over there in that side anyway. It's hard to see it, to program it. So I might move that. And then it's coming together. Well, this is what we come up with. If we start in the corner, we'd be doing a 24-inch base cabinet. What that would do is it would move the refrigerator 2 feet so that it lines up in the row over here. That way you're walking in a straight path over to the fridge instead of on a diagonal, putting it in the corner. We have light switches here, so you got to have hand movement here. I want to have the fridge go back all the way, and I want to bring the cabinet forward so that it's about 28 inches deep. So we're going to bring it about 4 inches forward, and that would make the fridge look more built in. And the other thing is, we got to bring a electric up for the fridge on a separate circuit, another circuit for these 3 outlets, and we need an outlet up here in another 24-inch wall cabinet for the little cooler that we want to use. That'll get a lot of drinks out of the fridge, you know, clear up some space. And then above the fridge, we're going to do a built-in look for it. So it's going to come across back down this side. And what that'll do, like I said, is make the fridge look more built-in, not so large. This side cabinets, what I think I want is a 30-inch base, outlet, 30-inch wall, 30-inch wall. They line up even. And on this side, we're going to have approximately, 3/4 inch or something as a box in. We're not sure the material yet. Probably paint it gray so it blends in with the cabinets. The soffit, we got to build out the soffit. And then when it comes over, We're probably gonna, I'm not sure if I'll go straight across. I might, or I may bring it out and go flush with the front so that we can mount the TV. Maybe this one up there. Dawson thinks that we're going to want the TV in the fridge or over the fridge. And, you know, might be handy if you're standing at the sink, you can watch the news, you know. So that's the plan. I got to build up the floor. We had to open up a section of floor because we couldn't get past obstructions to bring the PEX pipe for the water for the fridge, and electric lines that kept bunching up, even using a snake. So that's pretty easy doing an access hole. And we're 16 on center, 2x10s. And so let's see here. The next step would be doing the least amount of damage, pulling wires. We use fish tape, getting wires up for that. The panel box is right under here. Looked back a little ways, so I'm going to bring up fresh lines and we'll get started. What a fiasco, right? I wanted to do the least amount of damage. Remember on this wall we had to butcher and open it up to find all these circuits. Remember we had a switch up high and the outlet down low, and I needed to remove this circuit. Then over here by the fridge we had to do the same thing, and the wires were terrible, and we had to run a wire up for the microwave. And because this wall is in relatively good shape, and basically what we're going to see under the cabinet is all we're going to paint. So I want to keep this nice. There's no sense of doing more work. So I cut out for my outlets, centered with the two cabinets. I drilled up through the bottom plate by simply sawing onto the flooring. Remember, we're covering this floor up. So I drilled up through the bottom plate of the wall. And we're using fish tape. Dawson's home and he's helping me, and he goes, we're trying to fish the wire up, and we're catching on something. I think there's a cross brace or something here. And Dawson said, hey Dad, why don't you use your Christmas present? Let me show you what he got me for Christmas. Check it out. Turn that baby on. This is a depth setch, if I can say it right. And yeah, it's a nice movable camera. Let's see. Let's see your teeth, Dawson. Ah. So we're going to put this down in the wall and see what we got. Let me have you help me with this. We're going to feed this down through here. And this unit here, we can rotate the end, see? So I told him I wanted one, and he got me one for Christmas. Pretty cool, huh? So we're going to fish it down. I know there's insulation, so I'm not sure. Or I think right away I see it. See the lumber? So, okay, so there's 5/8 plywood that we can see out through there. You can see that right there. And on the outside of that is 5/8 fire code drywall. And then right there is the problem. We're seeing the 2x6. And let's see if we can find the wire. Rotate this. See, we're getting into the cotton candy. We can't see. Turn it. Oh, there's another one. There's the wall stud. And I don't know if we can tell this way, but somewhere down under this. Ooh, is that it? Right there?
Other way.
Wait a minute. Other way. Right there is a cable. Is it the cable? Rotate this around. There's a cable. It looks like it's wound up under there. Isn't that the fish tape end right there?
Yeah.
It is. So it's hooked underneath that. That's cool. Is that a wire staple? What is that? Ooh. Well, I gotta get back over there. Turn it. So, right. I lost it. But right under there is where our wire is. We're hooked on it. So I'm going to get a little insulation support wire and bend the end and hook on that wire. I got the two outlets put in. I put a USB outlet over here for charging phones. Come in the door, throw your phones there. There's going to be a cabinet and a cabinet with a door. So that drawer would work great to put your chargers, phones, stuff like that in. Pull them out, charge them. And then what is also cool is putting a charger inside the drawer. But I'm not sure. We're going to monkey with that. I put in the 3/8 dry plywood and brought the floor up flush, popped up some of these tiles, and of course it's real sticky under them. So I'm not going to take up too many. What I'm going to start with now is framing up that wall, and I'm not sure, probably a 3.5-inch depth wall so that I can put in a water shutoff for the, regular valve and a outlet for the fridge. And then I'm going to come across and put an outlet in the wall behind the cabinet, which is going to be brought out. I have to insulate that area, put in a piece of drywall, seal that up. And then the upper cabinet, I want to put a outlet in the cabinet so that we can plug the wine cooler in that, and then maybe just remove the door. We got us climbing kitty. He's always on our ladders. Right, Tiger? So Dawson's back from his bowling, and I had him help me design this a little bit, but we come up with an issue. This is what I'm coming up with, guys. In the original plan, this has changed. I think what I want to do is I want to add a pantry. And the reason is that it'll be 24 inches deep, which would match this side. And that way the fridge won't look like it's way out in the room. We don't want that. I think the fridge is a large one, a 36 by 32 deep, plus handles makes it 36. So what I want to do on here is I've got some birch doors, and what I want to do is, this is our mess here. I've had these doors I got at a garage sale for like $5 a piece. So instead of putting a plywood end wall here and here, I think what I want to do is actually use a door, and I'll have a finished side on both sides, and I can paint them the cabinet color. So I'm going to get some paint to touch up whatever and paint the color. On this, I think I mentioned it once, is I want to frame this wall out like that on the back of the fridge. I'd say you're going to bring the fridge out farther. And then what I want to do is put one of these in so that it sits flush against the wall. Now this is a garage wall. It's insulated, got plywood, then it's got 5/8 drywall on the outside, fire code. So I don't want to open the wall, I don't want to monkey with the wall, and I can't have pipes in the wall. So I want that somewhere here, probably down in here. Then I want an outlet for the fridge, and then we're going to do the outlet for the side cabinet too, because we're going to put this W24 that's up here, we're going to bring it forward. I'm not sure if it's going to be that same 4 inches or not, but I want it forward. And then the food pantry is going to be a narrow one, but it's 24 inches deep, so we can put canned goods, whatever, in that. And that's going to help conceal the fridge. And that's going to change our 30-30 that I already designed for. It's going to make them a little smaller, shove them down. So we're going to do that, right, Tiger? I think he wants dinner, don't he? Or does he want attention, probably? His brother wants dinner all the time. His brother wants dinner after dinner, don't he?
Yep.
The old squirrel likes to eat. Don't take his food away. But this guy here likes naps. That's what he does. And he's curious. So that's the plan. So I put my plywood on the floor everywhere I can except the sink area. And on the island, which used to be right here, as I brought that up too, I left these tiles down until I'm ready because it's sticky underneath. And then when I put the flooring in, I'm going to put all the flooring in, and then we're going to put the bar assembly together, because I don't want the bar here and then install the wood, the flooring around it, and then for some reason in the future I want to move it or do something different. We got a hole in the floor. So I want to make the bar a floating bar. It's going to be heavy, so it isn't going to move, but we're going to have it so we can move it around. Well, I just used the materials we had that we took out of here, repurposing these 2x4s. I got the 1/2-inch PEX. I sealed around the wires and pipe. You always want to do that when you're coming through a floor. And then I've got a bracket clamp holding my pipe. There's our outlet box. It's got a PEX Pro crimp on it. That shouldn't ever give me any issues. We got a ball valve. That should be great. We've got our 12-2 wire coming up. We're going to have our outlet right above it. It's going to be right here. Then we're going to come up and feed that cabinet with one. And I may come over and probably come over and do them all. There's only one more outlet on this circuit. I don't know what we're going to use this for over here. It's going to be a weird area, but we better, any countertop, we got to have an outlet. So we're going to put an outlet there, outlet inside the cabinet, an outlet there for the fridge on the refrigerator circuit. So that'll be fine. And these over here on a separate circuit. I had a sheet of drywall. The edges were damaged, but it's large enough to use this. So this is what I want. I want this behind the fridge. It's a neat looking setup. We're going to have an outlet. It's going to be flush with the rest of them. We're going to add another outlet before this is, moves on. And we're going to come up to that cabinet also. And got a lot more to do. Stay tuned. All right, this was my idea here. We're using these birch doors I got at the garage sale. We got a nice hefty top, 1 3/8 thick. We've got our outlet for our fridge, our water line for the fridge, our drywall in there. I'm going to mud the screws, paint it, and then probably just caulk the seam. And then over here, we got to mud this yet. We frame that wall in a little bit so that the cabinets will come out about flush with the front of the fridge. And then I put crossers across so that when the cabinet goes in, we can screw right to something, top and bottom. And the next thing is, I think I'll do the band joist installation, make sure they're all good across there. Go ahead and put in these pieces, mud this up, get ready for some tongue and groove sealing. Okay, I've gone through and I patched up all of our holes. Got my first coat of mud on. It's a dry time now, wait, hurry up and wait. So we got everything coated all the way around. Then I'm just going to come back through and do the second coat, third coat, sand, that kind of thing in the areas where it's going to be painted and on the edges of the cabinets. And then remember, we're going to do a backsplash tile and just a little paint around the windows. So I got to take good care around them and the door, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to finish this video out here. It's pretty long already, but the next step is I'm going to paint. I'm going to start on installing the ceiling. I've got to a little bit more planning on the wire for the lighting over the bar. Once we determine where the bar is, I think where we marked it on the floor, we're going to move it slightly because we changed this side of the room. And that's just about it. I might add one more light there, and that's about it. And so stay tuned for another part on the kitchen series. Thanks for watching.